Good evening, everybody. This is Yusuf Chowdhury tuning in once again from San Antonio, Texas. It is 6:45 p.m. Central Time. All right. So on today's subjects, let's have a questions. Let's have a Q&A session, or I can just basically talk about the topic of landing pages. Okay. Just give me a minute here. Let me share this. Hey, mentor me. OEV. What's going on? Wait a minute. Are we late? No, we're not late. Actually, I just started right now. I'm actually late. Been a little bit busy, so I'm not able to catch up on at 6 p.m. So it's either around 6:30, 7. So there's gonna be some sort of changes in timing, but it's not gonna be consistent. I mean, at least I'll do my best to be live every day, Monday to Friday. Okay, and all right, so let's go ahead and talk about this subject. And if y'all have any question about landing pages and whatnot, feel free to jump in and throw your questions at me. Right. So this is the question that I got. Was asked to talk a little bit about landing pages. So I'm going to cover certain topic within the subject. And if y'all have any question, as I mentioned, feel free to ask. So first thing first, let's go ahead and try to identify and define really what is a landing page, because the so-called landing pages comes in different variety. I mean, sometimes you can call it squeeze pages, landing pages, and what else? Sale pages, right? Sale funnel pages, but they all technically do the same thing, right? The whole purpose behind the concept of landing page, because this is where your target audience, your website visitors, land on it. Okay, so if you want to define it, if you want to understand what it is, then you can simply say that the strategy behind landing page, it's a particular page, whether it's within your own website or a separate site or separate link or separate domain. And the whole objective of the so-called landing page, it's a page that somehow you set it up differently or apart from your website, right, for a specific purpose. Okay, so a landing page, you created it for a specific purpose, for a specific objective. I mean, you can design your own website, your home page, similar to landing page, if your objective is to capture name and emails and phone numbers, right? But the landing pages can also be used if you run Google Ads, Bing Ads, or any type of social media ads that takes the visitor to a page that has some sort of objective and purpose to basically collect, leads. Okay, so that's in a nutshell. That's the idea behind, if you want to define what landing page is, right? If you want to define it. Now, what can the landing page do, or encourage the website visitor? Like, what can it do for that, right? I mean, it can attract target audience, right? It converts the visitor into a leads, like when they enter the information. It helps you to generate leads for your business. It helps you to sell products. It can also help you to collect data. It can also help you to basically, let's say, sign up for a service or a membership or a free trial, for example. It can also help with donation if you have like a nonprofit and you want to collect donation, right? So pretty much it can help your target audience to do specific things. Like, you set the specificity is not even a word, on the page itself. You know what I mean? Okay. So there are two types. Some landing page, the majority, the most popular one is for lead generation. So you're basically generating customers, leads, and whatnot. The other one, they call it the click through. So that means how many clicks did the landing page, for example, acquired, right? So this is the definition. This is the benefit in terms of what it can do. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, a landing page is a website page specifically designed to convert visitors into leads, right? To convert visitors into leads. Then after that, you can convert the leads into a buying customer, whether for product or services. Okay. Now there are some elements to make your website convert visitors into a customers, or your landing page to convert the visitors of a landing page into a customer. I mean, the first thing, of course, you have to build it in a certain way that targets the audience. You have to optimize it for the search engine, on page SEO and whatnot. You have to make sure it's compliant with the ADA. You have to make sure that it follows the user experience, the UX and the UI factors, right? Then you attract those target audience, correct? When you attract them, you can use online ads like Google, Bing, and social media ads, or you can use the organic strategy, which is a search engine and the social media, and you basically making them attract to your website, and from there, target audience comes in. You capture them. Once you capture, their name and email, phone number, then you can nurture them through giving them more valuable material, more valuable content on a certain timeline, whether like every 4 days or 5 days for like probably 5 weeks, and after that, you can try to close the deal, for example. You know what I mean? So that's the idea behind it, and these are some of the elements. Okay, these are some of the elements, and so let me know if you'll have so far any more question about the definition, about the benefit, and how it works and whatnot. Okay, so when we talked about there's a two objective of the landing page: the lead generation and also the click-through rate. When I say click-through rate, basically what it means, how many sales you are getting from this landing page. Is the page itself, does it have a reduced clutter, right? Hey, Lauren, what's going on? Should you not index landing page with Google? Of course you should index, because you want to make sure that the target audience are able to, find it, and the material that you put, the way you organize the material, whether it's a long landing page or a short one, has to be optimized so the audience can also find it. But the challenge is, because it's a one page, it might be a little bit challenging to push all the traffic to it, unless you do link building process or ads or social media content distribution to the landing page, right? But if you have a website with 5 or 6 pages, maybe the home page, you build it similar to a landing page, and plus you have other pages, and this can definitely help with the search engine to index all the pages, even the home page, right? I mean, some people, when they build a landing page specifically just for an ad, they don't put any navigation, because they don't want the target audience who are visiting the website or the landing page, to get confused or distracted. So the different strategy, you can use A/B test to see which one works and which one doesn't. But don't you want to analyze the traffic from ads only? Yes, you can. But you can also analyze the traffic if you configure the Google Analytics and Google Ads. Of course, Google Ads is going to show you the data from the ad itself, and the analytics will also show you ads from both. It will show you the analytics, the traffic coming organically, whether through social or through a link building process, and also through the ad, right? Because your objective is, you don't want to just rely on one thing, right? But if your strategy just to focus on let's say the ads, and to show your client the result of the ad only, then you can only focus on that. But eventually and technically, even if you run ads, I mean, the search engine going to read that page anyway, and organically, eventually it will index it anyway. Make sense? So when we talk about, hey, AJ, what's going on, my man? Tracking time, I've been working 70 hours a week in the past 2 weeks, working 70 hours a week now, so I can work 0 hours weeks when I'm 40. Man, that's very smart, because sometimes initially, in the beginning of a stage, when you're young and you're building a business, and I did the same thing. I used to work like a freaking crazy Jamaican buffalo, right? Yeah, man. I don't know if there's a buffalo there. But the point is, just initially you work a lot, you build the business to a point that you have your own account manager, your team, so they can run 90% of the project, and that way you don't have to, spend a lot of work, right? But to be honest with you, even right now, I have so-called a lot of time to do other stuff, but I still love to work, like in the business, right? I still like to do something. So I guess that's part of my, even though I want to relax more, but it's still my nature of, gotta work on project, do something. That's something I guess every person have a different personality and whatnot. But that's 100% good, AJ. When you build a business, you gotta think like a CEO, You cannot think like a freelancer, right? You got to delegate. You got to sometimes sacrifice some of your income. What I mean by that, those income has to go to your team, to your staff and contractors and freelancers. When you get more clients, you will still make actually good money, right? And that's the beauty behind digital marketing, because I always love the idea of the nomad type of marketing, where you can work from anywhere, from any nation, because it's online based. See, that's the beauty. You're not locked into one location. You're not even locked into like 9 to 5 typical work, right? So you are in control of your time. You're in control of everything. Let's see. Ha 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 ha. Also, how do I track an ad campaign for a restaurant to prove conversion? They're just doing social media ads, but obviously you can tell them, hey, you got X many person orders of your ads. That's a bit of a question. Here's the thing: if they are running Facebook ads, they need to run an ad that goes to exactly to the specific menu, right? If they are, let's say, promoting specific food, and it goes to a menu and they order, like say, like for delivery, that's one way you can probably set it up. Because the challenge is when if they see the ad, AG, and they call the restaurant, you can't track that except the phone call. You can basically show them, okay, you got on this month this many calls, and you have to ask your client, did you ask them how did they find you? If they said Google or Google Ads, then your client needs to record it. Make sense? So when it comes to the website, you have to be very super specific what kind of specific ad you're running and how that link gets ordered. If it's through a phone, then you can use maybe you can use a third-party system called Rail Call Rail. Call Rail is like a phone number. You set it up on the ad, and what it does, it basically records the conversation as well, so you can listen to the conversation. If it was for that specific food or product, then you can take that data back to your audience. So check out Call Rail. You know what I mean? So yeah, basically gotta kind of dig in and figure out how is the ad running and what is it going. Because last week, me and my business partner were meeting a client, and basically we're telling him that you have this nice website, but there has to be one primary call to action. There has to be one relevant primary call to action, and the way the website has to be built in a sense with the buyer's journey. So when we collect the data, we have to show you the conversion. If there are too many call to action and there is no clear direction, what is the point of pushing all the traffic to the website when we can't even figure out which traffic is for which and for which call to action, and what is the conversion? Because the concept of a conversion is different from one client to another. Some client will say getting the phone number is my conversion, or getting the name and email is my conversion, or purchasing the actual product is my conversion, right? To us, if we get you the lead, that is considered conversion for us. You know what I mean? Hey Dave, to keep up with updates, you end up working until forever. Indeed. AJ said makes sense. Okay. So when we go back talking about the click-through landing pages, we're talking about how many sales you're generating. Is the landing page cluttered? Does it promote event? Does it promote to your audience a proper information or valuable information or not? Right? Now we're going to switch back and talk about the lead generation. Like, what the heck is the lead generation? Right? Sometimes we call the landing page a squeeze page because you're squeezing in the visitor, because you're helping them. You basically gathering leads in the forms of names and emails, right? Usually you offer something great, whether it's a product that you're going to give it away, just pay for the shipping, or a 5 series videos, or a white paper, or a highly impactful an ebook, right? So you're giving something of high value, and in return, they are going to enter their name and email addresses. Basically, what they're telling you, hey, it's okay, send me ethically some good spams, right? So that's how you think about it. Because if every business focus, well, not every business, some businesses really don't require lead generation, believe it or not. But let's say if your business requires some type of collecting the name and emails so you can convert them into a customer, then you have to give them something of high value, whether it's a coupon, especially in terms of like a local restaurants, or some sort of deals if you're a mechanic, you know what I mean? So the idea is, if I want to capture, first of all, when you build everything correctly, optimize, and specific purpose, specific objective, now you have to figure out how can I capture those name and email addresses, right? So you can start with like offering, again, not that crappy ebook, something like with huge value that you're giving away. White papers, you can probably even try webinars, right? A free trial service for like 14 days, 30 days, or there's an event locally that you want them to attend, right? Maybe offer discounts, maybe offer, if you have a membership training programs or educational programs, you can probably give them some sort of exclusive access, right? So whatever you want to offer that has a huge value, like something like really, really good, not some crappy stuff that you copy and paste and give it away just to capture them in email. You don't want to harm your business like that, right? But something of high value, all right, that you are going to give it to your target audience. You know what I mean? Because what you offer really depends on what you call it, on your audience as well. Okay, so what you offer, it really depends on your audience. Let me see if there's any questions here. Okay, why some landing pages don't have navigation? Well, some landing pages, they on purpose don't put any navigation because they don't want the visitor that landed on the landing page get distracted. They just want that visitor to read everything within that page. That's why those pages look like very clear, concise in the headline and the subheading. Images are relevant to the content, and there's a form. And don't forget to make sure you put like a privacy policy or terms of service on the bottom. The call to action button stands out, bright full color like yellow or red, and maybe some sort of social credibility proof of having social channels, testimonies and whatnot. So that's why they select that option. Okay, I mean you can also test it. I mean you can have like regular with pages and see how they behave, or you can just do completely without any navigation, unless if they click on the logo, and that will basically take them back to what you call it, to the main website. Okay. All right, so let's see what else we have here. How should the landing page look like? Well, I mean, if you look at, for example, if you go and check out thrivetheme.com, which is a WordPress theme which specializes in landing pages, you can look and see some of the examples of landing page. Hey Charles, what's going on, my brother? You can also go to unbounce.com. Unbounce also specializes in landing pages. You can also look at leadpages.net. You can also look at Instapage, so you can get an idea whether you want to use the services or just get an idea. It will give you some options to basically how the landing page is properly designed. Okay. So basically, you need to make sure that there's enough text to convey your message, right? Sometimes you can use video. Some people say that long landing pages doesn't work. I don't agree with that, because you have to test it. You can test it with a long landing page, or you can test it with the one page only, right? Keep the text size easy to read, space them out, properly and consistently. Be clear and concise in your points. You know what I mean? Keep it very simple. Nothing much, bro. Thank you for tuning in, man. How you doing? So these are some of the components. Like, it has to be like an eye-catching headline, at least one, relevant, good, high-quality image, a clear call to action, clarity on the focus, and don't forget, even landing pages has to be mobile friendly. Okay. So these are some of the ideas on how you can also put like testimonies. You can put like some of the clients you work for. Makes sense? So these are some of the conversation about the subject of landing pages. So if you want to see more example, as I mentioned, go to thrivetheme.com, leadpages.net, Instapage, or unbounce.com. Charles said, good, keeping busy. That's awesome, man. AJ is also busy too, man. Yesterday he told me that he closed the deal running a photo for a restaurant, like a photo shoot for a restaurant, and social media for like $400 a month. Amazing deal, man. When I hear stuff like that, I get very pumped. Okay. Today's topic is about landing page. So when you get a chance, please go back in the beginning. We talked about the definition. We talked about the difference between the click through and the lead generation, and a couple of tools, and the purpose behind a landing page, and what you need to focus on, that kind of stuff. So let me know if y'all have any question about landing pages or any question about digital marketing. This is what I want to discuss today, because that's one of the important question about the ideas and concept behind landing pages. And the thing with WordPress, if you have a self-hosted WordPress based website, they also have a couple of samples of landing pages when you do a search on the back end of the dashboard. Okay. But if you really want to make your landing page stand out, you got to make sure that the link has the keyword, the actual landing page URL has the keyword, and also the image reflects that keyword. Make sure you have a headline optimized for a target keyword, and also a subheading, then the call to action. Okay, so that's it. That's what I want to talk about. And should a landing page be in sync with absolutely? I mean, the landing page has to be optimized. You still have to put the title tag, the meta tag, the schema tag, and whatnot. Every page has to be, in my book, every page you build on a website must be properly SEO optimized, because you do want the search and the Google bots index it properly. Makes sense? But the challenge with the landing page is only one page, so it depends on what kind of content you put out there. If it's only like 300 words, that's not gonna help with ranking. But if you have like a long landing page with bunch of testimonies and more information, sometimes those landing pages actually work. I mean, you just have to do a test. You can do a test with a very long landing page, or you can do a test with one video and a call to action. Especially if you run ads on those one, usually those work pretty well. But with the long one that has like testimonies, information, benefit of the service, case studies, and whatnot, those are also super valuable. And you can, once you do the on-page SEO on the landing page, then you have to focus on the ads, or you can do the off-page SEO, which is the link building, content writing, and whatnot. How would you optimize a website that is not targeting a local market? So you basically, okay, are you saying that is it nationwide? If it's not targeting, let's say, Texas, if it's a nationwide, then that basically means it's going to be a general key phrase without the location. And the challenge with that, if you want to dominate nationwide, it's going to take longer for it to basically rank versus the local one, because the local one can take like 6 months, 9 months to a year to be on the first page. But if you want to do a nationwide, right, there's a different strategy behind that. But it can take longer. It'd be a little bit more expensive. Some companies, what they do, they basically create multiple pages for like all the states, right, within their website, like the location page. When you click on the location, it shows all the states, and when you click on each state, it has more information about the product and services for those states, right? But again, it's be a little bit expensive, and it's going to take longer than 1 year to do like a nationwide. If you do internationally, it's possible, but it's going to be super expensive, and it's going to take longer if we do that. Say hello to my cousin Joel. Hey Joel, what's going on, my man? Thank you for tuning in. I was talking today about landing pages. So if you have any question about landing pages or digital marketing in general, do let me know. Leave your comment below. I talk about everything from when it comes to digital marketing. I talk about WordPress, web development, branding, consulting, SEO. Jeremy, my man, what's going on? My business partner, an amazing super dude who looks like a Mario right now. And online ads, social media, everything within digital, right? Because digital consists of a lot of other stuff. So if you have any question, he's just watching. Dang. Okay. Well, it's still good. Better than nothing. So again, so if you have any question specifically about landing page, feel free to ask. I'm actually almost done. And if you have any other question about digital marketing, feel free to ask as well. Alex, what's going on, my man? How do you not overprice your services in digital market? Okay, how do you not overprice? What do you mean? Like you don't want to make it price higher? I mean, you should have depends on, here's the thing. A lot of freelancers, when they start a business, they don't know how to put the price out there. I mean, you have to look at your time you spent, your gas money, whatever other expenses you have, whether it's a tool or office or whatnot. Add all that and also put your value, and then and provide a price. I mean, there's no set. When it comes to digital marketing, the beauty in the digital marketing, there's no set price. I mean, every companies, believe it or not, have a different prices. You know, there are some agencies will build website for 60 grand, 100 grand. You know, it's amazing, right? I mean, I start with like 5,000 and up, right? I think my most expensive website I built it probably for like 20, 25,000. That's about it. But there are other competitor that charge like more than that, right? So, and everyone has their own reason. But the most important thing is that you will find clients that can afford it and will pay for you. So look after the clients. And secondly, make sure the quality of the service is so good that it brings good result to your customer, makes sense to your client, because your client's not gonna keep paying you if they don't see a result. So you have to make sure that you're bringing the result. When they make a lot of money, you can also charge them more because you can do the math, right? That's why it's very important to, when you hire a client, you gotta qualify them. You gotta ask them the right question. You gotta ask them, what's the price for your lead? How many leads do you get? What is the lowest price in your product and service, and what is the highest price, the price number, right, in your product and services? How many do you need on a monthly basis, and what are you getting right now? So when you gather all this information, then you get an idea. Okay, if they're getting this much, there is an estimated value that they're making possibly this much. So if I'm going to charge them, I got to make sure that it's fair. At the same time, that they can also generate, right? They can also increase their bottom line, and at the same time, I can also charge, within how you want to charge it. That can bring them value, bring them conversion, bring them profit. Because if the customer makes like let's say 10,000 a month, you're not going to charge them 10,000 a month, right? So that's how you do it. Right? And sometimes don't worry about the offering your expensive prices. What happens sometimes is that you probably did not find the qualified customer or client to pay for you, right? That doesn't mean your price is wrong. It means just that is not your client, right? That is not your customer. So you have to go after, look for your targeted leads, your targeted customer that are going to basically pay for your product and service. When it comes to discount, you have to be careful. I don't like to offer discount because in my experience over the years, the client that pays less are the one that complain the most and demand more, right? But the client that amazingly pay me like good money, they don't complain too much. In fact, most of them are happy because they understand how the system works, and there's a quarterly meeting and updates and whatnot, right? So that's why it's very important for you to basically, to qualify your target audience. And all this stuff comes with experience. Okay, everything comes with experience. So nothing's going to be perfect. So you just have to be very patient. And as you build a business, you will see that the majority of your customers are actually happy clients. I would say maybe 70 to 80% are happy. Then you will get like probably 20% that are not satisfied. This is very natural. This is very normal. Okay, not to worry about it. All right. So any more question about digital marketing or running a business or landing pages? It is 7:13 p.m. Central Time right here in San Antonio, Texas. I'm going to wait for a minute to see if there's any question. Let's see if there's any more questions. And by the way, folks, if you all enjoyed, learning from this, feel free to tag some of your colleagues who are in business, invite them, tag them, share this. I would highly appreciate it. I had to fire a customer who was complaining so much, too much years ago, and now I target clients who are open to follow advice. Excellent. Here's the thing, Charles. You have to understand when you qualify your customer. If you are working with an educated client, the process can be much easier, and you can also educate them so they can understand. The challenge is when you have a client that don't understand how the web design works, the user experience works, conversion, digital marketing, and they are not willing to listen and learn, those are not good clients. And sometimes I get those, and I don't even care whether they hire me or not, right? Because in my experience, a client that is an ignorant, who don't want to listen, are going to be very painful, right? What is Sunday topic going to be about? Oh, me and what's his name? Me and Imran going to start a series on SEO. Actually, we're going to have several series on the search engine optimization. I haven't given a topic yet. I'm gonna have to. I'm glad that you mentioned it because I gotta give him tonight. Supposed to give him this week, but Bobby's a little bit busy, so I'm gonna give him. We're gonna because for the several weeks we talked about WordPress, right? Now we're gonna have a whole subject on the topic of search engine from basic all the way to advanced. It might be for like probably 2 months, possibly. We'll see. I'm gonna send him a couple of ideas and links, and. 1 second here. Okay, let's see. Two. Okay. So yeah, I'm glad you reminded me because I'm gonna send him a couple of topics. Yeah, it's gonna be as you know with Imran, we do it like within 30. Hey, Mark, what's going on? Thank you for tuning. We do it like within 30 minutes to like an hour top. So we're gonna break it down to small subjects so that way people can digest it easily, right? So we're gonna do that. So it's gonna be on the subject of the search engine, and we'll do our best to kind of simplify it. Make sure you tune in. It's gonna be at 4 p.m. Say 4 p.m. Sunday time. Yeah, 4 p.m. Central time. That's the time that we picked. Unless if it's changed, I'm gonna put an announcement on my social about what time it's gonna start. Okay. All right. So anybody else has any more question on digital marketing or landing pages or anything you're struggling with when it comes to your website or your business, or if you're stuck, you want to see how your website is ranking on Google and what kind of keywords are going through. If you want to learn about analytics and data science and all that stuff, feel free to ask. Okay, I'm gonna wait for another minute and see who is asking. Well, I don't know because Imran he uses StreamYard and typically stays on. I need to ask him if he pushes it to YouTube or not. But typically right now it's on Facebook. But I'll check with him. Okay, I'll check with him for sure. Thank you for the share. Really appreciate it. Okay, I don't see any more questions. So thank you so much everyone for tuning in. And keep sending me those questions, and I'll definitely see you all back next week on Monday. Bye bye for now, and you all have an awesome weekend. Bye bye.